Then, open your eyes. I can't, sir. I won't. I'm scared of what'll happen. I understand you're afraid you're going to hurt someone, but choosing to keep your eyes closed because you're scared, that's what they do. And you don't have to go through life blind because you are not like them. How do you know? Because I have a small measure of experience in those who are extraordinary. Now, open your eyes. They work. The glasses work. I can see. Better than most, my boy. And know the things I will show you.
It's a brave new world. Mutants around the world are flocking to the island nation of Krakoa for safety, security, and to be part of the first mutant society. Standing between that sacred land and the human world are the heroes of mutantdom, the X-Men. Cyclops, Storm, Polaris, Magneto, Dr. Reyes, Jean Grey, Havoc, Falcon, Wolverine, Cable, Prestige, Corsair. X-Men, Issue 1, Pax Krakoa, screenplay by Jonathan Hickman.
Now.
They thought they could hide from us, but they were wrong. We've reached the heart of the last Orcus stronghold on Earth, so be careful, Cyclops. If you look close enough, you can see the desperation in their eyes. Suicide bombs and serving the greater good are always the last refuge of a conquered people.
I'm always careful, Storm. It's part of my charm.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Surprised the giant purple robot snuck up on you.
It's because I'm tired, but I don't know what I'm more tired of. These engines of death or the men who insist on making them.
For years, we've endured small wins. We've called incremental change progress, when what we've really needed was a giant leap forward. Well, this is it. These machines are the product of the greatest human minds on the planet, the very best they offer. But now they know. No amount of ingenuity can stop what's coming. They can put a new coat of paint on it, shine it up bright, but nothing will hide the fact that they've spent too long passing off the past as the future.
Yes, man should know when he is beaten. He should know how to break and run or surrender and ask for unearned mercy. And yet, I can't help but notice they're falling back instead of scattering. So either they're incredibly well trained or they're protecting something.
Okay then, this is the beating heart of it. We've located their main lab, sir. Do you have a lock on our position? Yes. We're ready when you are. What the? Oh no. Magneto!
Polaris, I know that I can be, at times, overly demanding. But am I asking too much of a flawed world if I want no rubble, and certainly no rabble, beneath my feet when they touch the ground?
Of course not, Father. Allow me.
They're locked down tight. It's shielded, which I can punch through, but the door itself is made out of vibranium.
Which you cannot. Step aside, Cyclops.
Dr. Mars, they're almost through the door. What should we do? How much redundancy do we have between this hub and the forge? There's an 80% overlap. So if we fall, our brothers and sisters will still retain a vast majority of the Orcus knowledge base. Should I begin purging the mainframes? Should I destroy the data core? And lose the information forever? No. Better we make the ultimate sacrifice than to surrender 1 inch to the mutants. What is that? Evolution is an unyielding, unapologetic master. The truth is, we're too civilized to deal with these vandals. Will it hurt? Life hurts, Dr. Smith. But will I let a little pain, a little sacrifice, stop me from protecting all these good works that I have done? Of course not. These monsters can have my science when they pry it from my cold, dead fingers.
We're through.
Is that?
What's that sound? It's like wild. Oh!
On your right. Be careful. They're sure to be savvy. All these apes have PhDs.
Go. I'll take care of this. Find them.
Deep inside the hub. There, stasis tubes.
Goddess, there are over a dozen of them. How little they must think of themselves to treat others this way.
Polaris and I will get them out. Make us a gateway, Storm.
It's ready.
Look at this. It seems all of the other tubes hold mutants, but there's something different about this one.
Go ahead. Open it. Psst! I'm not here. You don't see me.
What are you talking about? I'm looking right at you.
Human. But the tachyon bleed suggests massive atemporal development. So technically, post-human.
I'm weak. I'm so weak.
You're from the vault, aren't you?
I emerged before I was fully cooked. A child born out of time. But I had to. Don't you see? There are wild gods loose in the world.
The only gods on this planet stand before you, child.
That was faster than I expected.
The evolutionary throwbacks retain just enough of their humanity for things to quickly become tribal. After I asserted my dominance, it didn't take long for them to turn on one another.
I have to go.
Wait! Don't!
Translocated. Clever girl. Should we follow her, father?
Yes, she couldn't have gotten far. The faster you...
No, that's not our priority. If the council wants to make it one, we can deal with that later. But for now, we have more important things to do. Let's get these children home. Krakoa, the living island, mutant nation state. All things considered, they seem fairly healthy, Dr. Reyes. But I'd like to be sure that, don't worry, they're in good hands now. And if we have to find anything physically wrong, we have a healer standing by. But if I'm being honest, my greatest concern is any underlying psychological trauma they might have after what they've been through. Even then, we have empaths and some fairly gifted telepaths who are standing by ready to help. To say nothing of clean water, clear skies, and all the good things that come from living in paradise.
Doctor, if you don't mind, I'm going to stay with these two until you check them out. They haven't spoken, but the amount of energy they're radiating is... I'd just be more comfortable waiting until you...
Of course, Storm. Happy to have the help. You sure you feel like sticking around? You've been going non-stop for the last week. You seemed a little beat out there.
Yes, I am sure.
You know, the beauty of this place is we're not on our own anymore. It's okay to let others shoulder some of the burden.
I'm tired of fighting, Scott. But I'll never be tired of lifting up our own. This is rain in the desert. It's life where there was none.
Fair enough, but I'll check in later, just in case. Magneto's back! Magneto! Magneto! Tell us how you defeated the humans, Magneto. Tell us how you saved those children. Will you take us next time you go? We want to fight with you.
I've spent my life fighting so you would never have to, my child. I've wasted too much of my life at war with humans, but it was worth it, because now you have Krakoa, and Krakoa is all you will ever need.
But what if the humans try to take it from us? Like they always do. I'm not afraid. I won't run.
You won't have to, for I am Magneto. Let man run from me.
Magneto! Magneto!
It's like he's a young man again. And I have to admit, it's getting a little embarrassing.
He's waited a long time for this. We all have.
You heading back home?
Yeah, Dad's in town for a visit. The whole family's there. Alex, too. You're welcome to come.
Maybe next time. When the past is a past and I'm still not finding my way in a new land.
It's something, isn't it? You know, I remember the day my son was born. I remember the sheer terror of it. Not the idea of being a father. My God, I loved that. I had waited my whole life for that. I was thinking about what kind of a world I'd brought this precious, innocent child into. The horrors that my beautiful boy would have to endure simply because he was my son, of my blood, like me. The worst part of it was I was right. He did suffer. He did, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. All I could do was endure it, try not to surrender. I'll tell you, it was a close thing, surrendering to the world. Very close. But I held on. And look, I have you, and your father, and my family, my boy, and we are home. Because I believed in a thing, and now it's real.
Scott,
Yeah?
do you really believe that?
Every single word of it. The Orcus Forge. Orcus was created to be the last gasp of the last generation. A doomsday weapon composed of human minds, the greatest minds ever assembled. Free from the warring ideologies that paralyze the civilian world, we are scientists from SHIELD, AIM, Armor, and Alpha Flight. You also have a small army of hammer parasites and six infernal geneticists from Hydra. Yes, well, there are lesser evils we tolerate for the greater good. Because you see, what we do here is all that matters. Survival. For our enemy is the future. And this is what comes from forgetting that. Mutants. Just look at what they have done. The same sun that powers this station powers them, Director Devo. Your two races exist in a closed system. For now, any action you take, any action they take, will have repercussions on the other. Conflict was unavoidable. I've read Dr. Greger's reports. I know you saw this disaster coming. Oh, the signs were there for anyone to see. We aren't all gifted with the machine brain of an Omega Sentinel, Karima. Humans will always be slaves to our emotions. And in that spirit, we built the Forge as the last hope for humanity. A great refuge in case evolution saw fit to leave mankind behind. It's one thing to shake our fist at God, Director, but something else altogether to call down the thunder. Putting 93 million miles between you and the Earth was a human deterrent, not a mutant one. And placing a mother mold in orbit around the sun was always going to spark a response. Dr. Greger the blame was mine, not hers. It was I who designed the uplift of this station based on the pre-existing Stark-Richards model, and it was I who adopted the Trask Sentinel template for celestial production. I only wish I could have been there to try to stop them. No, it's better you were in transit. Humans need leaders. Pack behavior is dependent on them. It's bad enough that Dr. Greger remains compromised, and that so many died. But losing you would have made this whole experiment pointless. The summer house, mutant habitat. Son. Oh, hey, Dad. Jean asked me to come find you. Dinner's almost ready. When we all got to Krakoa, someone asked me where I wanted to live. I didn't really worry about it at first. We just hung out under the stars, happy to soak it all in. But the more I thought about it, I really wanted a place with a view. I can tell. We can grow Krakoan habitats anywhere, Dad, and they all link back to the main island. So I figured, well, why settle? Want to explain what you're doing? Inside this device, an inferno burns. That fire matches the one inside of me. Do you see? I was born for such things, and I will not stop until these all-consuming flames have... You're not listening. I want my steak rare. You put the meat on the fire and expect what? The fire not to be fire? I'm gonna fight you. Peace, warrior. Because you are valiant and have earned my respect, I will give you your steak rare. Thank you. Whoosh! Medium rare. You son of a...
Does it have a thermal scope? Mine has a thermal scope.
A holographic thermal scope? Of course. To be clear, that's inefficient armor when facing a Strontian Alpha. But yes, always. Here, however, is the real shimmer in the celestial eye. It has antimatter rounds.
Oh my god. I have to have it. Mom, is it cool if I train guns with Raza? Set the table first, dear. Oof.
I made tea. I believe it needs sugar.
Of course it does. Thank you, Kiad.
So, a question I have. Are your clothes spikes on them, have they? Or a special occasion is this?
Yes.
Then another hard drink for another hard girl I am getting.
Sure. But not the purple stuff.
Hey, just in time. Gabriel's almost done burning dinner.
Fantastic.
Did you give your dad his present?
What's this? I haven't said anything yet, but I guess we're doing that now. Hey Alex, you got the thing? Yes, I do. Here you go, old man. It's nice. A plant. A flower. Okay, I don't get it. It's a Krakoan gate, Dad. Linked with one that we have here in the house. All you need to do is plant it in the Starjammer's Arboretum, and no matter where you are in the universe, you'll always be just a short walk away. Well then, I love it. It's good to see you, Dad. Yes, Father, your visits warm my heart, which, already aflame, is like pouring heat upon heat. It's the fire of 1,000 suns. Okay, Gabe, he gets it. I'm only like this because I grew up without a strong male role model. Alright, it's been a good day. The first of many. Let's eat. Summer House. The blue area of the moon. The Summer House is a Krakoan biome located adjacent to the blue area of the moon. Occupied by the Summers clan and other mutant allies, the base also serves as a departure point for first response, first strike capabilities. Note, while all mutants are technically welcome, Vulcan has been bringing home quite a few acquaintances from the Krakoan mainland who have stretched the acceptable bounds of decorum. Later. Got stuck doing the dishes, huh? It's my night. We'll move over. You wash and I'll dry. Actually, that's not how it works. I just spray the Krakoan goo all over them, and it eats all the bacteria and waste. Then, when it converts that into various elemental gases, it just evaporates, leaving behind clean plates. Son, that's disgusting. I think I'm gonna vomit. No, disgusting is when Krakoa tried to grow us edible plates that also improved what it considered to be abnormal biological functions. The plates in the goo were a compromise. My boy, your world has changed. Yes, it has, and for the better. Well, forgive my simple-minded human observation. Dad, no, listen. You've always lived a dangerous life, and it's cost you over the years. But what you're doing, it feels more dangerous. I'm worried about you and the others. Here's the thing that I've figured out, Dad. There's no end to the number of things on Earth, or hell, or out there in the universe that want to kill us. They never stop coming. They never will. We're all the same that way. So sure, I'm a fighter. I will never stop fighting for what I believe in. But I also live here, surrounded by the people I love. So I'm done focusing on the things that want me dead, and I'm choosing to spend my days focused on the things that want me to live. Okay? Okay. You're a good boy. The Orcus Forge. I had heard you'd arrived. First out, last in. Always a soft bed for the man behind the curtain. You're angry with me. You think I shouldn't be angry? At you? At them? If you want to use that rage for whatever it gets you, Dr. Gregor, that's fine. So long as you don't get lost along the way or lose sight of where we are headed. Lose sight? It's true. I was born blind, but through science I can see the world in infrared, ultraviolet, and 100 ways beyond that. There's not much that slips beyond my observation, especially not when I am looking closely. I did not see you at the funeral. You should have been there. We were burying your husband. There was nothing left to bury, Killian. And even if there were, it would have been just a shell. Nothing more. What he was lives here, and here in my work. He was our best military mind, a great strategist and hunter, a tower of a man. Memories are fine, legacy is better, but in losing him, we lost more than that. I know, but well, I guess now's as good a time as any. Would you like to know a secret, Director? What's that? I know how to bring him back. Tasty, tasty, midnight races. Oh, dear Lord, I'm home again. Oh, hello, friends. Sorry to have burst in on you like this. I'm Manton Snowplace, business chef, underwater lawyer, and author of the best-selling autobiography / science fiction sex venture, The Entrepreneur. I'm developing a new filter for your videos that will instantly turn you and your friends into your favorite X-Men characters. Instantly. Have a looky-loo. Wolverine, X-23. Professor X. Oh, let me get that, ma'am. I don't mind. Look out for it in your phone's e-goog I whatever store. The summer house. Kids?
Hello, Father.
What's up, Dad?
A lot. Yesterday, amid all the drama unfolding on Krakoa, a second island appeared 100 miles off the southern coast of our sentient mutant homeland. No one knows how or why, but this island somehow got the attention of Krakoa itself. Now Krakoa is making a beeline for it. Then, about 20 minutes ago, Aurora and Northstar returned from a flyover and reported the island appears to be full of hostiles. Giant beasts from that other place we don't normally speak of. So, I'm headed out on a recon mission and I was wondering, want to help your old man beat up some monsters?
X-Men, Issue 2, Summoner. The Other Island. Mutants around the world are flocking to the nation of Krakoa to be part of the First Mutant Society. But, since the assassination of Charles Xavier, their sense of safety has been shattered and the island is on lockdown. Suddenly, Krakoa's security is in question, but the X-Men stand ready to protect mutant kind. Cyclops, Prestige, Cable.
Any idea why Krakoa is headed towards the other island?
None. We should, but the only person in the universe who can talk to Krakoa is a couple thousand galaxies away. Someone had the bright idea of letting Doug Ramsey and company use our gateway to the Starjammer.
It was you, wasn't it?
This is the voice of a guilty man, Rachel. Throw the book at me.
Hey, so I brought a couple 100 rounds for my pistol, standard issue, a couple thousand for the rifle I got from Raza, which is a lovely bit of business, along with the thermal grenade I'm packing, which sounds like it should be fine. But now I'm wondering if I should have brought anything else.
Well, son, take a look for yourself.
Yeah, okay. I should have brought a bigger gun.
Later.
A tricky bit of landing there, Dad. I'm impressed.
I've got more hours in the cockpit than I do in therapy, son. And let me tell you, I've done the work. Alright, at Krakoa's current speed, it'll be here in around 5 hours, which means we've got a good bit less than that to figure out what's going on here. Rachel, if you don't mind?
On it. Oh, that's interesting. It's dense, but most of what's out there is of low intelligence, wildlife. However, it's tough to tell exactly because it's all a little off, I'm picking up something higher on the food chain. It feels humanish.
Where?
I'll give you one guess.
Later. 2 hours from contact with Krakoa.
This is taking forever.
And forever we do not have. I was hoping we could do this with subtlety and nuance, but who has the patience for that anymore? Stay behind me. Much better. You've got point, Nathan.
Now that we're not fighting through the foliage, it's hard to miss how beautiful this is.
Yeah, reminds me a bit of Hawaii. Not the big island, but the other ones. Ever been?
Once, but, world ending, fighting for my life, all that.
That's no way to experience paradise, Rachel. You'll have to give it another shot. You know what? Why don't I take you?
Really?
Of course. But now that I'm thinking about it, I might know a better place. There's a little island on Chandelar, an imperial preserve, where the water is so clear you can see a couple 100 yards down. And at night, because most of the sea life is bioluminescent, it feels like the island is suspended in a sea of stars.
Well, that sounds amazing.
Put it on your calendar, kiddo. We're going.
Hey, got something. It's a weird rhino thing.
Think it's dangerous?
Sure, it's a big boy, but it's definitely not a carnivore. Look at its back legs and its feet. Those are not the wheels of a meat eater. Still, looks cool. Wait. Hold up. Got more motion.
Gross.
Damn.
Okay, now that's a meat eater.
Yes, it is.
Father? Should we?
I don't think we're gonna have a choice. Fire! The Eric Maw. Someone's here. Ours is a hard land, son. But this soft place will offer trials of a different sort. Ones you are not used to. War is all you have ever known, and it will not have prepared you for this. How will I know what to do? The only wisdom I can offer you is this. Find him. Follow him. Mother, please. No more of that, child. We are long past favor and sentimentality. They are coming now, across the land and over the walls. So make me proud, son. Do not fail. Under the sign, a summoner. Nameless and ageless, a summoner of Araco can bridge the chasm between the lost island of Araco and the land beyond the wild borders of Otherworld. Able to control the dark beasts that serve the adversaries of Araco, for millennia, summoners have served as the greatest deterrent to Araco's eternal enemies. However, in recent years, their numbers have dwindled, as the high cost of an endless war has resulted in a dearth of replacements. Time continues to grow short for Araco. Later, 1 hour from contact with Krakoa.
I think I still have demon squid on my shoes.
You're lucky. I'm pretty sure I still have some in my mouth.
Well, no one told you to bite it.
I couldn't help myself. Reflexes took over.
See octopus? Eat octopus.
If a gun's not an option, then it's fight. Fight or bite, sis. Don't put me to the test.
Hey, Dad, they say it's never the dog, it's always the owner. Care to comment on this rabid son situation? Are we going to have to find a new home for him or put him down? Or we could just have him neutered.
We've got company. Dead ahead. Hello. Hey there. Can you understand me? What are these sounds you're making? Are you unable to speak? I can't place it. Doesn't sound like any language I've ever heard.
It's like singing.
Maybe we should try something else. All that grunting, like you're ill. Are you in pain? I know pain. You must fight through it, refuse the shape it tries to make of you, and instead make it into an armor you wear. One you wear with pride.
I've got an idea. I'm going to give it something. Here, friend, maybe you'll understand.
Ah, a gift. Thank you.
See? Success! I'm a good person. I do good things. That's why people love me. You should remember that, Rachel.
What'd you give him?
Something awesome. A thermal grenade. My last one. I'm a giver.
Oh no. So shiny.
I honestly don't know what else I was thinking could have happened there.
Well, you were probably hoping for the best. After all, you're a good person. You do good things, and that's why people love you.
Kids, let's stop arguing. It's time to do the other thing. You have fared greatly. Can't you see what I am? I'm a summoner. See Uraglath, the great beast of the outer realm. See Hulgodir, the vanquished god. See Dur, the undying. See them and your end. For I am the son of Araco, a defender of the keep. One does not attack me and live.
You know what you could really use right now, Cable? I do, Cable. A thermal grenade. Well, yes, Cable, but if you hadn't already used it, you actually wouldn't need it, would you? Hey, shut up already. I'm a time traveler. Nothing makes sense.
Rachel, Krakoa must be close now, and we're not getting anywhere this way. We need to be able to talk to him.
We tried, remember?
Yes, but you've helped download Krakoan into every mutant's mind when they get to the island, right?
Right. Good idea. I should have thought of that.
Can you understand us now?
Yes, I can. Tell me, why did you try to destroy me?
I didn't. It was a gift. You weren't supposed to turn it on.
I don't understand. Does gift mean something else in this world?
Can we agree that I've made some poor choices today and move on?
Look, we don't want to fight you. We simply want to know why the island we're from, Krakoa, is heading to this island, your island, and if it's going to be a problem. Do you love someone? Complicated question, but for the sake of expediency, let's just say yes. I love a single someone. And you want to be with them, yes? Of course. Then you understand. Watch.
Oh, man. Are the islands...
I honestly don't want to know.
What was that?
Well, son, I think that's how all my best mistakes have happened. Now the two are one, as they should be, as they always were. Hey, where are you going? What happens now? I'm not going anywhere, because now I live here. And I live here because he lives here. Krakoa plus Eric Coral. Later. This world is strange. The sky is something to behold. It's almost overwhelming, the lack of true darkness. My mother told me all about you. It's fitting you come at night.
For at night, even new gods slumber. We have never met, but I would recognize your seed anywhere. Did you run away, or were you sent?
I wanted to stay. I would have stayed.
Of course you would have. How could you not?
The enemy has come, and though the walls hold, and for now, your children hold the point, soon Araco will fall.
And which of my children is mother to you?
War.
Yes, I can see that now. You have it in you.
Will you save us? Can you save us?
I can, I will, for I mean to save all of my children, those of Krakoa and those of Araco.
The 80s were a magical time for the X-Men. In 1986, Rogue and Wolverine's hair was identical. They were best friends, and didn't give a fuck about nothing except beating asses, saving lives, and mutant rights. Savage Land, Krakoan Harvest Center, Field 8. That's weird.
Yeah, what's wrong with the gate?
Papillon. Is this Kansas? Doesn't look much like Kansas. I would know. I got into trouble in Kansas once.
No, this isn't Kansas. This is Krakoa. You're in the Savage Lands. We grow flowers here.
Hey, I don't recognize you guys. You mutants new to the island? New? Yes. Mutants? Bad news on the boulevard, kids.
Well, why?
Why isn't that obvious, dear? We just love the S word out of flowers. Growth mindset. Mutants around the world are flocking to the island nation of Krakoa to be a part of the first mutant society. But a new nation means new threats. White Queen, Cyclops, Magneto, Marvel Girl, Black King. X-Men, Issue 3, Horticulture. Krakoa, the Quiet Council.
Alright, we're here. What's gone wrong now?
Something truly unexpected. Please have a seat.
Hey, I know that look. You alright? I smell smoke. Should I assume fire?
Yes, we're gonna send you out. We can't access the Savage Lands. Something's wrong with Krakoa.
Well then, it's a good thing I've been trained in righting wrongs. Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
Emma, nice of you to show up.
In with the wind, not a hair out of place.
Gotta tell you, I love those shoes.
Why, thank you, Jean. I would offer to let you borrow them, but I think they're a couple sizes too small.
That's so kind of you, but I'm too big on borrowing things. That's really more of a you kind of thing, isn't it?
Haha, I deserve that. Want to get a drink later?
Sure, you're paying.
I always do. All right. Now that we're all here, someone want to explain why I have this headache?
Krakoa is screaming. Savage Land Gateway non-responsive. The suspected forced seizure of a Krakoan gate has caused Krakoa itself incredible discomfort. This has resulted in several unexpected abnormal island disturbances. Krakoan wildlife has gotten more aggressive. After a period of over a month with no reported incidences with the island's wildlife, there have been 6 in the last hour. Undetectable to most mutants, Black Time Cassidy has noted a decrease in island mass. Beast has confirmed this and noted a decrease of 1/10,000%, or roughly 158 square feet. Finally, all telepaths within the localized manifestation of the island are currently experiencing an increased level of psychic assault consumption. An action team has been tasked with discovering what has happened to the gate and, if possible, re-establishing its connection to Krakoa. Feed the island. As most know, Krakoa feeds on the psychic energy of mutants. When the island is at maximum growth, not the contracted pre-nation state, winter version, Krakoa needs to consume 2 mutants a year to maintain a stable environment. However, the current population of Krakoa means that only a minimal amount of psychic energy is needed from each citizen to maintain the health of the island, something each mutant is happy to give. There are aggressive protocols in place to ensure that Krakoa is not exceeding its minimal psychic draw. Mutants who feed on mutants, Selene and Implate, have been tasked to observe the levels of psychic depletion among the island's mutant population. Similar protocols are used for the 2 of them as well.
That's the last of the 2. Not much fight in them.
I think these are the peaceful mutants. They're flower children.
All I see is soft. Soft, soft. Given that, I would have thought the mutants would have had slightly more spirited security.
What? No, I don't get social security.
I said spirited security, Edith, not social security. Take your mask off. You can't hear worth a damn with it on.
Won't make much difference, Augusta. She can't hear worth a D word with it off either. You can D word my B word, Opal. B-word all the way to the store and back, for your smokies. No more smokies. The doctor was very clear on our last visit. He could see the signs, and the signs were very clear. Opal is off the tobacco. So now I'm on the gum. Can't say I care for it much. I don't know why you had to bring that up, Edith. She did it because she doesn't have a nice bone in her bony little body. And we know you get Social Security, Edith. You used your last check to upfit the green thumb. You know the good Lord hears you lying. I ain't lying, Lily. You can only claim one person's benefits, and since my Walter had paid in more, his Social Security checks were bigger. So I get his, not mine. There is a difference, and I'm thankful for it. Good old Walter, the man did many things right.
He left you for a younger woman, Edith.
Yes, and he died in a car crash before he filed our divorce papers. Left that strumpet of his with nothing but a bill for the funeral. I wore yellow to the service, if you recall. I sat in the front row, and I laughed my A-word off. A-word means ass, Opal. Chew on that, ladies. And while you do, shall we pick some flowers? The Outback.
Exactly how's this work?
We can still access any of the other gateways, just not the specific gateway to the Savage Land. Not only is it not functioning properly, but the longer it's malfunctioning, the more Krakoa seems to be in pain.
5 minutes into that council meeting, and Jean, Paris, and I were ready to crawl out of our skin. I wish we had young Douglas around to translate.
Right. Again, my fault. We're going to have to figure something out there, or the poor kid's never going to have a vacation again.
So, do I dare inquire as to how traveling to Australia is getting us closer to the Savage Land?
Well, it is actually closer, but we need a quick way there, and magic's off planet too. So, we're gonna catch another ride. The Savage Land. More company. How delightful.
We've been invaded by octogenarians. That's unexpected.
Ladies, you've caused a bit of a ruckus and people are upset. Mind introducing yourselves?
We're horticulture.
Horticulture?
No, horticulture. No one here wants to hear about all that whoring around in Kansas Augusta did.
I like married men and taking all their things. It's not my fault that sometimes they die in car crashes.
Speaking of unsavory women, this one looks like a tart. Uh-huh. She looks like an S-word with a serious P-word problem. You need to wash yourself, girl.
I won't fight old women. And their minds are somehow shielded? So, dear, if you could hit these ladies harder than you normally would, it would only make me love you more.
Ahem. Actually, if you don't mind, allow me. Good women of horticulture, I am Sebastian Shaw. I am Black King of the Hellfire Trading Company, who happen to be the rights holders of the product you so clearly plan on absconding with. Now, I am not a prude, nor am I an impractical man. And between us girls, over the years, I too have been known to purloin items, like those flowers you hold in your hand, and even flowers such as yourselves, for my own quite selfish and otherwise loin-related reasons. For we are all self-serving, so surely in the spirit of personal enrichment and the acquisition of all things we desire, we can come to some sort of an agreement. You get what you want, some of our product, without the stigma of theft, and we would get what we want, which is an understanding of how you have compromised what we believe to be a closed system of transit. Yes, there is the complication of can we trust one another, especially when the formation of our blooming relationship has begun thusly. But I believe we can find some solid footing in an agreement regarding our natures. You are thieves and can be trusted to covet that which you do not own. I am a devourer of both men and women, a carnivore. But fortunately for you ladies, I like my steak a little less seasoned. So why don't we make a deal? What say you?
Psst! Hit him with the gas, Lily. Already done, Edith. Whatever powers this creep has are neutralized. Do you hear that? No deal, creep. No deal. Please step away from the aristocrat. I know he's an insufferable bore, and normally I'd let you ladies work, but he's our insufferable bore. So, now I have to work. Oof. Are we done now?
Oh God, oh Lord, oh sweet Jesus.
Damn it. Are you okay?
My hip, you broke my hip.
Okay, hold still and I'll... Ack! Stupid boy, we do water aerobics and yoga 4 days a week at the YMCA.
Our instructor's name is Sven. He's from Sweden and in better shape than you are.
Enough. What is wrong with all of you?
Well, you are, girly. You mutants are screwing up our plan. Even though we are human, horticulture, like you, has a problem with what mankind has done to this planet. We are, all of us, radical botanists, gardeners with the gift of the green thumb, who are committed to returning this world to its proper state. The four of us have collectively spent more than 200 years working for the world's best agrochemical and biotech companies. Do you have any idea what is going on in some of these places? It's offensive. They sold us on feeding the world, but they were really doing was using our gifts to create seedless slave plants that could no longer reproduce. They replace God's perfect cycle of death and rebirth in just death, so they can just sell more product each year in the name of wealth and corruption. Well, after a while, we figured out what to do with our fellow scientists, and we knew what to do with these evil institutions. For the last 2 years, we've carefully sown the horticulture seed in with theirs, and in 10 years, we'll control all of the world's food supply. We will decide what grows and what does not. We will decide who eats and who starves, which, I won't lie, we're still arguing over. Opal says the future should belong to the children. Lily never cared much for kids, and Edith says kill them all. Me? I go back and forth. Regardless, what we are sure of is that when we activate the horticulture seed, this world will return to its natural state, an Earth with 7 billion fewer people on it. At least, that was our plan. But then you showed up, with your living island, an expansive biome beyond our current understanding. That could very well circumvent our plans. The good news is that good old human ingenuity is alive and well, and it didn't take us too long to hack it. Anytime we like, we can interrupt its normal functions and take control of your method of transit, which, I will not lie, is a boon for us. But remapping its adaptive mutant genome has proven elusive, so we need more samples than we can get from a gateway. And now we have them. So we will work to see what makes Krakoa tick, and we will either convince it or support our good works or find a way to bend it to our will. And if it can do neither, then we'll find a way to pluck it like the weed it is. You can bet your A-word on that.
Just so you know, Gateway, you were a lot of help.
Krakoa. Later.
So, we have a bit of a problem.
Here's some more of our new X-Men filter. So tired. Fear me, metal. I'm Gambit. I have a Cajun accent. Mon ami. Shrimp on the barbie. Yar.
Your accent is really good, but it sounds like you're doing a Philadelphia accent, or Sweden, or maybe Yogi Bear. The state of the world. Mutants are flocking to the island nation of Krakoa to be part of the first mutant society, and as Krakoa grows, so does its prominence on the international stage. Cyclops, Magneto, Charles Xavier, Apocalypse, Gorgon. Davos, Switzerland.
This week, thousands of world leaders, economic titans, celebrities, and philanthropists have gathered for the annual meeting of the World Economic Forum. The theme of this year's conference is Globalization for a New Age: How to Secure and Maintain a Cohesive and Sustainable World, which seems fitting as the meeting occurs only 1 month after the revelation and previously unknown influence of the mutant nation of Krakoa. The resulting economic and political upheaval almost certainly ensures this topic will dominate conversation. The resulting economic and political upheaval almost certainly ensures that this topic will dominate conversation. It's only been confirmed in the last few days that an olive branch in the form of an invitation to Davos has been extended to the mutant nation. And rumors of their possible acceptance and attendance have spread rapidly throughout the assembled media covering the conference. We all wait with bated breath to see if the rumors are true, and more than that, what it will mean for the world at large.
X-Men issue 4, Global Economics.
Welcome, gentlemen. I apologize, but while many of our guests require a heightened level of personal security, we cannot allow such personnel inside any actual meetings. It's the same for everyone. I hope you understand. We're fine waiting out here if you are. Just yell if you need me.
You'll come running?
I might take my time, enjoy the sights, rub elbows with my betters. This way, gentlemen, your party is waiting for you. You two can stay here with me, but you're going to have to surrender the swords. Obviously, we allow security to carry weapons, but something that overt is a problem. The problem is that you look at me and think the blade is the weapon. Bit of advice, friend. I'd let this go. But don't worry, we'll be on our best behavior. There was some concern regarding the hour of the day and exactly how long your party would be available. So we took the liberty of arranging a meal for you all. The hope was that a free and fair discussion while breaking bread would present both a more casual but straightforward exchange of ideas. After all, what is dinner but elevated conversation among friends?
World Economic Forum dinner menu. Watermelon gazpacho infused with habanero and poblano chilies. Shredded kale, mushrooms, bacon, parmesan. Olive wagyu, Colbert sauce.
Charles, thanks for coming. Eric, you as well.
Thank you for having us. This all looks very nice.
Well, we're happy to have you, and even happier to accept your invitation. And thanks to you as well, should I call you Insaba? Or Mr. Noor, perhaps?
I am Apocalypse. My other names are not fit for you to utter.
Apocalypse it is then. Regardless, welcome. We have an amazing meal prepared and much to talk about. But before we get started, I'd like to offer a toast. To peace. To peace. This thing itches. What the hell are you doing? Don't touch that. It's the only thing keeping them out of your mind. You didn't break contact with your skin, did you? No, I don't think so. Here you are, sir. A watermelon gazpacho infused with habanero and poblano chilies. Thank you. Scott. Tommy. Yes, Professor. There are 2 assault teams waiting to converge on our position. One is located on the floor above us, the other on the floor below. They're shielded again, so that's all the help I can offer. But be good boys and take care of them for me? Not a problem, sir. Consider it done. Why are you both looking at me like that? I have bad news on the mutant good behavior front, friend. I think if I'm being honest, what we're hoping for here is a better understanding of what you're aiming for. It is still early days yet, but the level of destabilization that has already occurred is frankly staggering.
Yes. And our question is, what does this look like years from now? What's the end game?
I've been very clear about that. There's no subterfuge going on here, no lack of clarity.
And if that eventually becomes untenable, the effect the existence of Krakoa has on the world?
Well, I believe in adaptation. You might even say it's my religion. And if that's not enough, I honestly don't know what comfort I can give you. Everyone needs to accept the new normal of Krakoa.
I think we shouldn't act surprised. A nation will act in its own best interest. This is neither new behavior nor unexpected. We have seen it all before. And it would be dishonest to pretend our countries don't do the same. We'd find ways around it. We always do. Call it common ground, if you will.
If that's your position, dare I ask if Wakanda is now interested in a more formal trade relationship with Krakoa?
On that, I'm afraid not. Our countries will have to continue to settle for the more familiar relationship of kings and queens.
Ms. Frost will be disappointed, but it's more than enough for now.
Speaking of disappointments, trade relationships often yield deeper relationships with a nation's people. Yet your borders continue to be closed to most of us. How can the deeper lure of trust be formed in isolation?
To put it more bluntly, how can we trust you to be part of the world if you spend your time hiding from us on your island?
Does this feel like we're hiding?
Can we talk more about the drugs?
Of course.
You're going to have to forgive our curiosity, but we've had quite a few of our best scientists looking at them, and well, we're not sure how to say this without sounding accusatory, but we're not sure that, for some of your drugs, the weekly regimen is necessary.
I'm not an expert, but I do know enough about them to say you're wrong. There's a cascading effect over time, and the way we've structured it mitigates the negative effects. But even if this was not true, if we chose to deliver the medicine in the most profitable manner possible, it would just be a lesson you've taught us. Armaments, universal debt, and planned obsolescence. Are these not the 3 pillars of Western prosperity?
That's Huxley, right?
It's not just Huxley. He's quoting The Island, which, all things considered, is just perfect. Well done.
I find it mildly amusing that to make your point, you have to quote a human author. Then again, there aren't many famous mutant authors, are there?
Not yet, but there will be. I'm sure of it. After all, it's in the air lately. The breaking of human norms.
Well, that sounds ominous.
It's the truth. You cannot blame us for the long history of man, nor can you blame us for the circular nature of it. Right now, you people are institutionally teaching your children to rewrite and unlearn history. Well, I promise you one thing. We will never forget where we came from. But you will. You always do.
That's quite a bold claim. Any way to back it up?
Do you know how medieval societies got lead? They had to mine it from Roman ruins because the technology, the knowledge of how to do it was lost during the Dark Ages. This wasn't an aberration. You humans, through war, short-sightedness, or pure ignorance, tend to destroy yourselves every few thousand years. Look at the end of the Bronze Age, a dark age before the Dark Ages. You don't even know what caused the end of it, but there it is. Yet another hole in the collective memory of man.
Who cares what caused the end of the Bronze Age?
I was alive then, and you should care.
Is that so? Well, tell us. What caused the collapse?
Me.
Well, I can assure you, I haven't forgotten my history. I know where this kind of posturing leads. To the same place it always does. To war. Yet another conflict between mutant and man. Except this time, it has the potential to dwarf all that has preceded it.
No, there will be no war.
Is that so?
It is. Surely you can see that our methods are changing, that they have changed. Take me, for example. In the past, I would have seized your country's weapons of war and turned them on you. I would have tried to show you how strong I was, how strong I am. But we have learned. You've shown us through the ways of your quiet weapons of finance and your silent wars of influence.
A little help, please.
I've seen what you do here.
Thanks.
Leverage people with debt. Make them pay to be healthy and whole. Make them pay to become educated. Make them pay you interest so they have a place to live. Then when you own them, you control them. I have seen what you do. And now we will do the same. But better. Better versions of a better life. Better drugs for longer, healthier existence. And then we will take the money. Outrageous sums of money you will give us because it also means more wealth for you, and we will invest it. We will buy your banks, we will buy your schools, we will buy your media, we will buy your politicians. And then, when we have bought all the rest, we will buy you, because you have taught us everything has a price, and we are happy to pay. Then when we have this influence, and we will use it, we will make sure that the wrong sort of people, and you know who, no longer have any economic power. We will not allow them inside our institutions, because it's important they do not have anywhere to peddle their dangerous, outdated ideas. And that is how it will end, like a fire with no oxygen. Yes, of course, there will still be people who fear and hate us. They just simply won't be able to do anything about it any longer. So as I said, there will be no war. Oh, by the way, this was really fantastic. My compliments to the chef.
All clear on the second floor, Professor. Good. We're almost done here. You should head our way. All right, let's wrap things up, Gorgon. Time to go. I'll be right there.
Krakoan captains. Cyclops, Magic. Bishop, Gorgon. Gorgon. While the other three captains have broader, more extensive jurisdictions, Gorgon has a smaller, more specific one. As one of the most experienced and most lethal mutants on Earth, he was chosen by the Captain Commander, after consultation with Wolverine, to act as the personal protector for members of the Quiet Council, especially when they leave Krakoa. After the events surrounding the assassination of Charles Xavier, if an Autumn Council member plans to enter a hostile environment, the expectation is that Gordon will accompany them.
This was your greatest mistake. Thinking you were a warrior. Yes, you studied, you trained, you tested yourself against your fellow man. But now, you know what you really are, and what a true warrior looks like. In the past, my contempt for you would have manifested itself in an uncomplicated manner. I simply would have taken your head. But these are new days, and I am led by brilliant mutants who understand war better than I ever could. I have seen the error of my ways. Now I understand. I am enlightened. I know now it's better that you live, like this, with the shame of what you are. Embrace this mercy, human, and never test my kind again.
I can't help but notice. You keep touching your ear. Everything all right?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Hard to tell.
Let me clear things up for you. They're not coming.
What's he talking about?
He had 2 weapons teams spirited away on the floors above us and below us in case things didn't go the way he wanted. And they didn't, in either case.
At some point, it would behoove you to recognize that this situation is not one that can be handled unilaterally. Do you think they're lying to you? You heard them. They're not trying to hide what they want or what they are. We cannot trust them. How long do you think until someone blinks and this peaceful detente disappears? A month. What? 1 month. That's all it took for you to send someone to Krakoa to kill me. It was unsuccessful, obviously. I cannot be killed. Not like that, and not by the likes of you. We didn't send anyone to kill you.
It wasn't us. They say it was them. The bad humans, they always say. Yet here they come to kill us all, Charles. And all we've done to earn it is to promise not to kill them. We even made it a law.
Do you think I've completely given up on my dream of mutants and humans coexisting peacefully? Do you think I don't love you? Because I do. I do. And I want you to always remember that. Someone once told me that I've spent my whole life dreaming the wrong dream. And I'll admit, the last month has been something of an education. But there's a small part of me that will never stop believing in that dream. There's a part of me that will never stop believing in you. But it only took 1 month before you tried to kill me. And you were going to try again today, weren't you? You basically admitted to everyone here today that you see the world as yours. What do you think we would do? Learn the lesson. Evolve. Adapt. Become something different. The same way I always have. If you want to be angry, if you want to lash out because we were claiming what is rightfully ours, then so be it. Just know it's the last time it ends like this. What's that supposed to mean?
I don't think there should be any confusion. It seemed rather clear to me. Mutants have never been in this position before, being part of a brotherhood of nations. So admittedly, we have a bit of a learning curve to overcome. But we have good teachers in all of you, and we learn quickly. Try us again if you will. But if you do, expect a response.
This week, in X-Men adjacent-ish enough news. Did you know that the 1998 Nintendo 64 game Turok 2 Seeds of Evil was in Japan called Violence Killer New Generation? But in Japanese, of course. Honestly, I think all games should be called Violence Killer New Generation. It would be accurate, save on trademarking. Other news, a group or flock of crows is called a murder. A murder of crows. You knew that. But seriously, Violence Killer New Generation. It says nothing of that you play a racist cartoon parody of an old-timey Native American, though one that makes you feel like a badass. Nor that what you are violence killing are dinosaurs from the future or something. I'm sorry, I never asked you how you're doing. How are you? Still into Sudoku? How's Steve Crystal? Really? Well, how's Crystal, Your Highness?
Psychic residue. The island nation of Krakoa requires defense, and one of its greatest protectors is a mutant named Storm. A longtime defender of mutant kind, Storm recently fought Orcus and the Children of the Vault with the X-Men. Jean Grey, Emma Frost, Storm, Wolverine, Cyclops.
Giant-sized X-Men #1. Not the one you're thinking of. No, not that one either. This is a giant-sized X-Men #1. Ha-ha! Catch me if you can! I'll give you a head start. You're gonna need it. Hey, did you see that? Yeah. It came from over here. Do you see anything? No, Wait, there's something over... Yeah, I see something. Someone. Oh no, it's Storm!
Help. Metal? Machine? Save me. The children of the vault gave Storm a machine virus that's going to kill Storm in the next 30 days. We ought to talk.
What have I done? What the hell was I thinking? X-Men issue 5, Into the Vault. Screenplay by Jonathan Hickman. Reconnaissance. While rescuing mutant children from the Orcus research facility, the X-Men inadvertently freed Serafina, a member of the Children of the Vault, a highly evolved and highly dangerous superpowered group developed via exposure to temporal acceleration. The X-Men have now tracked Serafina to Ecuador. Cyclops, Wolverine, Professor X, Armor, Storm, Darwin, Cinch, X-23, Serafina. Ecuador. Translated from the Spanish. What's this? Easy, girl. She looks half dead. Get her something to drink. Get her some water. No, just keep him from following me. I know that look. If I tell you I've tried to talk 1,000 men out of the mistake you're getting ready to make, I know I'm low. Is there any way I can convince you gentlemen to step aside and just let me catch the very bad girl? Didn't think so. Now, where did you go? Later. Snicked. Damn it. I'm too late. You there? I can hear you. Go ahead. Sorry, Slim. Serafina slipped into the vault before I could get to her. You want me to cut my way? No. That won't help the temporal problem. We need you back here. We'll have to think of another way in. Breach detected. Access by secondary threshold of the city. Scanning for contagion. Scan complete. Subject clean. Child identified. Class, Serafina. Level 2. Proceed to city, Serafina. The vault welcomes you. Later, Krakoa. Here's the thing you have to remember. Time flows differently inside the vault. The idea behind it is essentially the same as the world. That out here in the real world, time moves at its normal pace, but in there it's accelerated. The difference between the two is that the world is evolutionarily based. The vault, however, is something entirely different. Human adaptation along technological lines, not evolutionarily. Sounds like a problem in search of a solution. Listen to me, for this I cannot stress enough. The children of the vault represent the single greatest existential threat to mutantdom, and we know nothing about them, not really. So we're sending in a team inside, and we're asking the three of you to go. Darwin, we believe your adaptive powers make you uniquely prepared to evaluate both the atemporal environment and the children themselves. Thank you. Cinch, your ability to copy another mutant's power will act as a redundancy. Feels like an insult. It's also a second set of observational eyes for Darwin and the survival mechanisms of X-23, who, like Wolverine, actually, I'm Wolverine. You tell him, kiddo. Either way, you have the healing ability to withstand the initial temporal shear and live long enough to report back so we can understand what we're really up against. You have to tell them the rest. There are risks. Of course, Cerebro cannot penetrate the vault when it is closed, so we will not know if you've succeeded or failed, if you live or have died. You have to get in, get the information, and get out long enough for Cerebro to download you. If you don't, then the mission will have been for nothing. Exactly. How long are we going to be gone? Yeah, about that. We believe there are ways to sneak you in, but once you are in, we can't get proof of life or death. We can't resurrect you until the vault reopens. And the last time it opened, several thousand years passed inside. You know who they should send on this mission? Wolverine. Haven't you been paying attention, kiddo? They are. And I'd go, but I've got something pressing that can't wait. A couple thousand years, huh? You need to pack a pillow, Darwin. Actually, I don't need a pillow. My head can adapt to any contour that I meant for me. I'm a two-pillow guy. And this very much sounds like an overnighter. Can I count on you? Yes, you can count on me. All right, let's go be heroes. Medical report. Patient file 14. RE, post-resurrection analysis of Cinch Everett Thomas. Physiology. 1 week after rebirth, the patient appears to be in good health and excellent physical condition. Testing also indicates there doesn't appear to be a detrimental upper limit to what we are calling peak physical form. A review of Cinch's training sessions from his time at the Massachusetts Academy shows that he is now operating at a 4% increase in natural physical ability. The 5, it seems, are correcting, possibly unconsciously, the minor imperfections of each mutant they resurrect. Note, Cinch was one of the earliest resurrected mutants because it was believed that his powers could enable him to act as a substitute for any of the 5 who might need one. And while this proved to be the case, it was unknown at the time that resurrection isn't taxing for the 5 but restorative. Psychology. Unfortunately, while the patient appears to be physically fine, the same cannot be said for his psychological condition. I would stop short of saying Everett is in denial, but he is clearly putting on a brave face regarding his current situation. There is no escaping the fact that he looks around and sees a world that has changed in some ways that he doesn't fully comprehend. And while this is burdensome enough, to see other mutants who were once fellow students of his having changed and in some ways passed him by has proven to be incredibly difficult for him. So much so that I cannot currently recommend the further resurrection of similar mutants in Everett's situation unless a less harmful solution presents itself. Dr. Cecilia Reyes. Note, because of this experience, the idea of clustering mutants together from similar backgrounds and time periods was tested by resurrecting the mutant's skin ahead of his scheduled time to serve as a companion for Cinch. The success of this served to adapt our early resurrection protocols to better serve mutant society. Field download. Class, Serafina Level 2. Report for Child Pod 5600, Reconnaissance. Sangre, Pero, Serafina, Aguaja, Fuego. Primary analysis, mission failure. Secondary analysis, increased threat activity level of non-augmentation naturally occurring human population. Restore child, Sangre, Pero, Serafina, Aguja, Fuego. Ecuador, the vault. So how are we going to do it? Get inside? Yeah. Well, we don't have any idea why Serafina was outside the vault, but it has to be an anomaly of some sort. Because the children operate in packs and no other children seem to be active. So right now, we're assuming they remain in a growth cycle. We've learned in previous attempts to get in that during those periods, their defenses are automated by the Vault AI. They're dormant, but actively looking for a breach. So first, we're going to get their attention. After that, the automated defense should come online and will present as a threat. We'll give them a good show. Here they come. Make them feel it. But this will all be a distraction. As I said before, the real problem with breaking into the vault is the temporal shear. We are not built for crossing the threshold, which is why we're sending the 3 of you in. We think you are built for it. Forge has repurposed a few of the Orcus translocators we salvaged in South America, so you'll use that to get inside instead of cracking the door open. Because after all, the point is to get you inside without attracting their attention. After that, we'll back off slowly. Fake a retreat. Withdraw to an area beyond the defense radius. Aye! Got her. Let's get out of here and let the vault defenses think they've done their job. Mission accomplished. We're clear. Are you okay? I'm fine. Just a little shook up. Don't worry about me. Did they get in? Yes. Last I saw them, they were at one of the vault doors. And then they weren't. So that's it. It's just that simple. We go there, draw their fire, and get inside. And once you're in, you get to work. Phase disturbance detected. Asymmetrical secondary threshold breach. Scanning for contagion. Scan complete. Contaminated. Subjects unidentified. Class unknown. Level unknown. Anomaly detected. Vault response incoming. Protect the city. Oh, fuck. Much later. How long? 3 months? 5 days? And some change? So, how long? Best guess, 537 years. And some change? Yes. My God, what have I done? The hell was I thinking? X-Men themed sexy Halloween costume idea. Professor Sex. Fun band name idea. The Sexmen featuring Professor Sex. I don't know. See you next time. Then,
I wish you could see this, Irene.
I've seen more sunsets than you can imagine, Raven. The collapse of all things and the end of days. I've seen enough.
Then why are we...
I want you to listen carefully. What I'm about to tell you isn't going to sound believable, but I promise. It's all true. Every word of it.
now, let's go all the way around, Mr. Sand. I want to hear the choir sing. Yes, ma'am. We have good ping from the entire network of defense platforms arrayed along Mercury's orbit. We also have a strong signal from the watchtower on Venus. Sentinel City continues to grow. The mining of heavy metals is unabated, and they've begun construction on a subterranean habitat, an Orcus bunker, if you will. And finally, all the military upfits to the station have been completed. Our weapon systems are online. Good. And repairs to the station itself? The forge is lit, Captain Crane. We are healthy and whole, as fit as any motherless orphan can be. Later. They say perfection comes from repetition and repetition only. That perfection is all craft and no passion. Well, I, for one, have no interest in being perfect, my dear Omega, for I am an artist. And with that last stroke, tink, my work is complete. What do you think? I think it looks perfect. Excuse me, Director, you called for a courier? I did. Do you know where Aaliyah Gregor's lab is located? I do, Director. Please take this to her immediately. She's waiting on it. Special project. Now, am I wrong, Omega? Or are you developing a devilish sense of humor? The time will come, Director Devo, when it might become necessary to engage others on a truly emotional level. This isn't it. My goodness, look at you. Self-aware, evolving, a work of art. Later. Dr. Gregor? Yes, what is it? I'm busy. The director asked me to deliver this to you. So you have. Just set it on the table and leave. Thank you. A little closer, love. A little closer.
Something's not right. The X-Men undertook a mission to destroy the Orcus Forge, a space station with tremendous offensive capabilities against mutant kind, including the capacity to create Nimrod, a highly advanced mutant-killing robot. The entire team perished in the process of successfully unmooring the mother mold at the core of the station, sending it plunging into the sun. Now the X-Men are restored to life. The nation of Krakoa stands behind them. What more could they want? Director Devo Omega Sentinel, Dr. Gregor Mystique, Charles Xavier. Magneto. X-Men 6. The Oracle. Screenplay by Jonathan Hickman.
Then, plans.
I have demands.
Do you now? Is helping your fellow mutant not reward enough for Raven Darkholm?
No, it isn't. I need more.
Yes, I see that. But it's fair, I suppose. We have further demands as well.
Really?
I'm afraid so.
Is helping your fellow mutant not reward enough for the great Charles Xavier?
We're building a better mutant world, Mystique. And everyone who would live in it owes something. Including you. We're going to be sending a team to the Mother Mold orbiting the sun. You'll go with them, run the mission, but there's something else we need from you.
What's that?
Plant a seed for a winter harvest. Then, the mission. Bamf. Mystique, are you there?
Stop screaming in my head, Summers. I hear you. I got turned around, but I'm here now. Hold on. Something's not right.
Hey there. Got some bad news for you.
No!
You plant our seed on this Orcus station, we get what we want, and then you get what you want. And we all know what that is, don't we?
Yes, Irene.
Then, resurrection. There you are. Even knowing I could bring you back, a part of me dies when any of you do. So let's not do that again, shall we? Did it work? It did. You succeeded. And your sacrifice was not in vain. It was a gift. And in giving, you saved us all. Later, you saved us all. And for that we are grateful.
But you need more.
All of you died beyond the reach of Cerebro, meaning you were restored to your last backup before you left. The Mother Mold is gone, yes, but as to the other, we believe you succeeded, but we need to know that you did.
And how would you know if I planted the flower or not?
We wouldn't.
We believe you did, but we need to know that you did.
So what happens if I walk through the gate and I didn't grow a gate on the other side?
You won't go anywhere. You'll just walk straight through. The gateway flowers are grown in tandem. The other side has to be active for it to work.
Problem is, if they found out and you're walking into a trap, or worse. But we have to know. So off you go. Now.
Bad news. We took our shot, and we missed.
What happened?
Most of it is beyond my ken, but it looks to me that your belief that Nimrod comes from the Mother Mold is wrong. There's a scientist there, Aaliyah Gregor, who's building something that looks just like one.
Why didn't you take care of it?
Haven't you heard? We have laws.
Not for that. Not for them. Let's be honest, not for you, if you thought it needed doing. So why didn't you?
Because you needed to know, and now you do.
No. It's more than that. Out with it, Raven.
I've been helpful. I've been cooperative. As much as it is not in my nature, I have done my part. But I'm not doing one more thing until you give her to me.
That wasn't the deal.
I don't care. Bring her back.
Raven, after all this time, after all the years of stabbing your own kind in the back just to get what you want, after all that, do you really think we can trust you?
I want my wife back.
And she will return when you have earned it.
We need you to do this. It must be done.
We have some time. She's not that far along. I'll go back tomorrow.
Good. Thank you.
I hate you, Charles. I've always hated you.
Hated and feared. I fear I'm growing numb to it. Not because it doesn't bother me, but all of this is bigger than how we feel. It's bigger than me, and it's certainly bigger than you. The Oracle.
What I'm about to tell you isn't going to sound believable, but I promise it's all true. I want you to listen carefully, every word of it.
I don't know why you're talking to me like this, Irene. Yes, I'm a skeptic, but I've always believed everything you have told me.
Well, let's put that to the test, shall we? Years from now, long after I'm gone, long after I've left a broken you and this broken world behind, something is going to happen that will sound too good to be true to your cynical ears.
Gone? If you can see your death, then...
You're focusing on the wrong part, my dear. Listen, hear the words of an oracle. There will be an island, not the first, but the last. This place will seem to be hope for our kind. They will invite you in, lift you up, and then deny you the one thing you want. Oh, they will promise it to you, but they'll do everything they can not to honor their word, because they're afraid. They want us blind for some reason, but you and I, my dear, we were born to see.
I don't understand any of this.
I know, but when it's time, you will. And when these days come, remember these words. Bring me back. And if you cannot, if they will not, then burn that place to the ground.
Rogues Gallery. Oh no. I know him. Pfft. See you next time. Krakoa. The Academos habitat. The sextant.
Rise and shine, kiddo. It's another day in paradise. I don't know what the problem is, but I just cannot get a good night's rest here. Did we have any of that coffee the green kid is famous? What's wrong?
Melody, we got some... Word came down from the council, sis. It's time.
Crucible?
If you want it.
When?
Today. Faith. By combining their mutant powers, the Five have given the X-Men and the Krakoan people the miraculous opportunity to be reborn after death. But nothing so incredible comes without a cost. Melody Guthrie, Paige Guthrie, Sam Guthrie, Joshua Guthrie, Cyclops, Wolverine, Cypher, Nightcrawler, Exodus, Apocalypse. X-Men 7, Life Death. The Summer House. Couldn't sleep? Never do. It's all that hair. Too hot for the covers and it's too cool without them. Can we just sit here like men, drink our coffee and enjoy a quiet moment for once? I guess. But here's the thing what did I just say? Gene and I are taking the kids to Chandeleur in a few days, and we were wondering if you want to come along. I know it's not normally your idea of fun, but it might be nice. The scenery at that place is something else. It sure is. Jeannie in a bikini, Scott in a Speedo. Well, who could say no to that? Great. So, Crucible is today. Yes, it is. Are you going? No, I'm not. You think it's wrong? Didn't say that. Even if I felt that way, it ain't our choice to make, is it? Logan, that feels like a cop-out. Call it whatever you want, but I don't sit on the council, and neither do you. They had a choice to make, and they did. Now we all have to live with it, whether we like it or not. Again, if the kid wants it, then who are we to say no? You and I have never had a problem making judgment calls in the past, or deciding what's right or what's wrong. Not sure that's something we should hang our hat on, Slim. Look, there's no getting around the fact that we have to have a way to deal with this particular problem, and there's no avoiding it. But do I have to love the choice? No. But if you're looking for absolution, or some kind of answer from on high, you're talking to the wrong guy. Go find a priest. That's a great idea. Krakoa. Hello, Douglas. Hi. Did I just... I guess not. You seen Kurt around? He's usually up in his perch this time of day. Just follow the path up. Keep turning left. That's some view.
It is, isn't it? You see that building in the distance? The tall one, the Fort Towers?
Hard to miss. What's really interesting about it is that even though we know it's hollow, there's no way inside. Logan told me that someone tried to cut their way in.
It was him.
It was him. Yeah, of course. Anyway, he couldn't get in. It just immediately sealed back up. So no one's been in there.
I have.
Is that so?
Yes, curiosity got the best of me, so in I went. Leap of faith and all that.
Well, what did you find?
I'm not sure. When I was younger, if I were designing a place to live that was everything I wanted, that building would have been it. I would have called it home, I think. It's perfect, Scott. Like everything here. Like the island made it just for me. Doesn't that make the hair on your arms stand up?
I learned years ago not to look for cracks in the firmament, Kurt. Enjoy what little we find, for soon the world will be the world, and we have lived in it long enough to know better.
Ah, in the land of blind faith, the one-eyed man is king.
Fair enough. So why are you up here instead of in there?
Here I can breathe. Here I can think. Which is good, because Krakoa asks hard questions of me. Every day there's some new, amazing something to believe in. And all it costs is the suspension of everything I used to believe. Speaking of, Crucible is today.
Which is exactly why I came to see you.
You're struggling with it?
Yes, aren't you?
How could I not? Are we really going to sit around and just watch a mutant die?
Later. Great things are happening all around you, children. Great and wonderful things that lift us mutants up. And you might wonder, how high, Exodus? How high? Well, now we know. Higher than ever believed possible. I look at all your beautiful faces, and they fill me with hope for today, and tomorrow, and for ages to come. Which of you glorious children can tell me what is happening tonight? Crucible. Our first crucible, which is what we name this glorious thing. But can you tell me what crucible actually is? I think it's where a broken mutant has to die so that they can be an unbroken mutant. Is that right? Your answer has the ring of truth, but not the whole truth. Would you like to hear the whole truth? I think so, yes. Then listen closely, children, for this is the truth. It is the story of a woman. Her name was Scarlet Witch. Pretender! Pretender! Stop! We don't say her name. Pretender! Pretender! Of course you know her. We all know her. Her and her great sin. She erased the powers of millions of mutants. She made mutant into man. She made so many of us less. She spoke the words. No more mutants. No more mutants. No more mutants. and sentenced 1 million of us to hell on earth, trapped in a body that was a prison. Can you imagine being able to do such wonders and then having your gifts stolen from you? And why? Because she thought it was the right thing to do? Because she knew what was best? That's what they do, the worst of them. They decide what's right for all of us, how to talk, how to think, what to believe. And what do we say to them? What do we say to her? No more. No more. No more. The great gift of the 5 means that any of us can be reborn, that we can be made whole. All that's required is one thing. And what is that, children? You have to die. That's right. And not just any death. So, how did you come up with the rules for mutants who have lost their powers?
Jean didn't tell you?
We've both been so busy. I keep forgetting to ask.
And Emma?
I'm afraid to ask her because of what the answer might be.
You're a wiser man than most, my friend. So, as you might imagine, many of us are finding the world of late a place of increasing complications. Krakoa is causing us to confront difficulties, problems, questions we never faced before. Now, is it more difficult for me because many of these questions lie at the heart of my religion? Perhaps, perhaps not. But I believe that we are all finding them difficult in our own way. It's just that my perspective comes from more of a place of the soul rather than the considerations others on the council may have.
Like today, for example.
Yes, today. And the not-so-small matter of Crucible. I remember Zorn taught me the Zen koan, when I do violence to others, I do violence to the world, and when I do violence to the world, I do violence to myself. Well, the inverse is also true. Violence to yourself is violence to the world, and therefore violence to those around you.
For me, these acts have both external and internal costs, and to leave Buddhism behind and return to the bosom of Christ's church, why, they are sins. Of course my perspective, impassioned as it was, lacked the pragmatic strength of some other arguments. After all, if 1 million depowered mutants decide to kill themselves tomorrow so they could be reborn in mutant glory, well, that represents a very real and practical problem for the 5.
So that's how the council landed on the Crucible? You're telling me in paradise that the pragmatists have won?
No, there was another argument made.
Humans. What can we say about humans that they have not already said about themselves? They cover their truth with lies, but their actions, their God-forsaken actions, always reveal who they really are. Oh, how they hate us. Oh, how they fear us. Oh, how they envy us. Look around you, child. Are you not filled with envy?
Yes.
What's your name?
Arrow?
No. Arrow is a mutant name. I see no mutant standing before me. Perhaps you were born a mutant, but the humans stole that from you. And now, in all the ways that matter, you are as they are, aren't you?
Yes.
Then tell me your name.
Melody Guthrie.
Guthrie, a powerful mutant family. A great name. What a disappointment you must be. This is too much. I'm gonna knock his... No, wait. Give it a minute. This is what she wants. Can you stand the disappointment? Can you abide what they did to you?
No.
Look around you. Look closely. These are people willing to fight to the very last one to preserve our way of life. To fight and die for one another. And this is why we do not accept those like you simply killing yourself to be reborn as something better. It's a surrender, and those days are beyond our people. Do you understand?
Yes.
So what do you want, Melody Guthrie? Why are you here?
To fight and die for my people like a mutant?
Then pick up your sword.
The problem with all of this, Scott, all of it, is that it feels a little reckless, doesn't it? It's true, we have laws and the foundation of some kind of government. But what was it built on? Hope? Anger? Inevitability? Arrogance? What's at the real center of it?
I take it you have some opinions?
That's the thing, my friend. I really don't. All I have are more questions. I can't help but wonder what happens to our souls when we die. Do they linger waiting for eternity, or do they return to their mortal vessel when that vessel is reborn, as you and I recently were? Am I really me? Are you really you?
Gotta be honest, this is the first time I've felt like myself in years, Kurt. If this is wrong, I don't want to be right.
I understand that. Still.
Questions?
Yes, think about it. Mortality. If one cannot die, if one is immortal, then what lure is eternity? Why seek heaven if we can, for all time, do God's work here in the living world? Is our true cross now the burden of creating a heaven on earth? Such questions. I could continue for days, but consider the small cracks already spidering through the foundation of this society we're building. You've heard about the wills?
Yes.
And?
It's gonna be a problem.
I agree, but some might say it isn't, especially after witnessing Crucible.
You can live like this, like a human. It's an existence of a sort. There's nothing wrong with it. We can make the pain stop. Your wounds can be healed. We have mutants that can make you whole. All you have to do is quit. Just lie there and don't get up.
Go to hell.
Good.
If one is changed, made whole, and being reborn, then why shouldn't other mutants have the same opportunity in death? Why shouldn't they be able to be the very best version of themselves, or perhaps even a better version?
They should, I think. The problem is that some are arguing that the best version of themselves would be being reborn in a copy of Magneto's body, with his powers.
I've already seen that written in someone's will. But why stop there? Why not combine two? Why not add a third into the mix?
Yeah, like I said, it's gonna be a problem. You're what? Going to die like that? On your knees?
Never.
I see you, sister. We all do. Accept this gift. You have earned it. Welcome back. On your feet, child. Krakoa is waiting for you.
How do you explain something like this? How do you accurately describe it? Miraculous? Glorious? Wrong?
All I know is you've convinced me. You're right. You do have questions.
Yes. And the only thing I'm sure of is this. Any answers I find, I do not think they are for me alone. They're for all of us.
I'm back. I'm whole. Thank you.
I deserve no credit for revealing what was always there. What victory there is yours and yours alone. All that's left for you to do is claim it.
Still, thank you.
You're welcome, child. Now, what are you waiting for? Show them who you really are. Right or wrong, it sure is something, isn't it?
Yes it is. Scott?
Yeah?
I think I need to start a mutant religion.
Do you remember how in battle, or an exclamation, Storm would always call upon Bright Lady? Firstly, she'd call upon Goddess. Not a goddess or the goddess, but Goddess. Kind of how a person might say, God help me, Storm would say, Goddess help me. But mostly it would be Bright Lady. Bright Lady, grant me the strength, or Bright Lady, fuck that guy, or something like that. It seemed from all of this that Bright Lady is a goddess that she asks for guidance, but it never actually addresses who Bright Lady is, or like really what Storm's idea of religion would be. So Bright Lady, for all we know, could be just an old friend of Storm's.
What if Bright Lady's just really smart, and that's what Storm calls her because she knows her as her smartest friend? That's Bright Lady. That's who I call on in times when I need to invoke a sense of intelligence in a situation. I say, bright lady.
Well, don't watch Jeopardy with Bright Lady. She is no fun at all.
Bright lady, bright lady. How's it going? Yeah. I was just, did you just put that in? Is that a, no, bright lady. It's are those new shoes or,
Oh, bright lady. I'd say it's good to see you, but that would only be in the most figurative sense possible.
Hey, Bright Lady. Hey, sweetie. Hey. Yeah, no. I've been good. I've been really good. The migraine.
Bright lady, it appears as though you've taken a shine to me.
No. Hungover. From last night. No, I've been fine. How are you? How have you been?
Because that's my friend who graduated high school when she was 10, who got a mastery certification in college, like biochemistry or something, when she was like 15, is just like the smartest person.